Right, let's empty the bag. Well, this thing here has been with me for about 4 years now, out in the field. It's done various different jobs. It's been various different vans. It's been many properties. It's been on the floor, it's been dragged. It's had its fair share of accidents. It's been left behind. It's been left in a loft. It's been fell down a floor, gone into a cellar, fell down the stairs of some. It's had a good 4 years. And I thought, what I'd do, I'd drag it back in. We'll have a look what's inside it, what I use it for, my daily tools, my daily carry. See what state it's in after 4 years of, I wouldn't say abuse, but it's these things are built to last, and I do put them to the test. Yeah, I think we'll have a look in the front first, then we'll spin it round, have a look in the back, see what I carry, see if there's any updates I can do. First thing I want to do actually is weigh the thing, which means hooking it up here. And providing it's not too heavy, it's going to bring the shed roof down. I think that's measuring about 27 pounds, which is around 13 kilograms. Take the thing off there. You can see see for yourself. Leave that up there. I'll get in to the main part of the bag, the main front of the bag. Put this down a sec. What I'll do, I'll bring the camera in a bit. In fact, even better, I'll bring the bag a bit closer so you can see. We'll do this really quickly. Now here we have the little, in fact, before we start mentioning the hammer, 99.99999%, if not all, of my work is domestic, residential, inside people's properties. That's for hitting plugs in, nothing much more. That's all I need in this bag anyway. Hitting a few plugs in, a few cable clips. That's the very kiddie for that. So we got some side cutters here. These are the old CK ones with holes in. Don't know if it's even picking that up on the camera. Have a look there. We got the CK choppers, croppers. What do you guys call these ones? Choppers. I call them croppers, I think. Certainly not VDE anywhere, is there? But yeah, you're not going to cut through a live cable with that anyway. We've got the all-important, this is the magnetic Milwaukee level. I've had this for a few years as well now. That's it's always good to have a magnetic level, a small little magnetic level. You will use it. The ideal cable strippers, this is for 2.5 mainly, usually. I think it's all for 2.5. I'm not sure what the biggest cable you can fit down there. You look down the sides of there. I don't think you might be able to fit some 6mm down there. Should we have a quick look? No, they don't work for 6mm. You can tell I've never used them for 6mm before. Just shove that back over there. So these are for 1mm, 1.5 and 2.5, and that's all. We got the everyone's doing little crimps nowadays. These little, is it bootlace crimps, whatever you want to call them. We're all crimping stranded cable, aren't we? You're not still twisting it and folding it over and getting it in the term. You're not still doing that, hopefully. You're using crimps, surely, nowadays. With all the fires and stuff that's going on. Minimum, you would have a crimp, and look, what goes along with the crimp is a little crimp set here of various different sizes. So you crimp up your stranded cables. It's a nice touch, good quality, good practice. Keep it nice and tight, and yeah, saves fires and loose wires and all the rest of it. We've got one big screwdriver in here, one big decent size flat head, which is of the Klein variety, the Klein tools there. Again, this one's about, I think this one's about 4 years old as well. In there as well, I've got, as always, what you'd have in every single, I think every toolbox should have one of these, not just an electrical toolbox, tool bag. The magnetic, telescopic magnetic. I mean, it used to have a torch at the end, but it's basically a tool finder, or a hammer picker-upper, a screwdriver picker-upper. When you fall it, drop it down in between the floor or down a cellar or somewhere where you can't reach normally, and you just send this thing down here. Like I said, should normally be a little torch at the end there. This is the kind of thing you'd pick up from eBay, or where did I get it from? B&M or something? B&Q? I don't know. I can't remember. We've got for the Beck insulated screwdrivers, these are my daily use, daily carry. Every single day I use these. Into the pockets here, you can see even. Into the pockets there. A pair of cutters down there as well, and I use those every single day. Nice and thin, not too chunky like this, or this one, you know, not too chunky in the hand. Yeah, nice and thin. For my daily carry screwdrivers, put them down there. This is the Ameg torque screwdriver, which I think is set up for, well, what have I got on there? I've got a PZ SL1, which goes in there. If you just twist it round, it'll click in so you can switch them out. You know, for tightening up breakers, MCBs, RCBOs, SPDs, AFDDs, in fact, all terminals. And there should be a key for that somewhere to set the torque settings on the top. But we'll keep going, we'll keep flying through. We've got the Knipex. Is it Knipex or Knipex? This is the question. I've always called them Knipex, even though there's a K there. Please let me know in the comments if I'm talking rubbish. Is it Knipex or Knipex? Either way, I will still call them Knipex. And by the way, these are by far, like, they are my go-to cutters above anything else. I have the 4 screwdrivers in my pocket and these, because they're multi. You've got everything. You've got your crop, you've got your long nose, needle nose, whatever you want to call it. There's even a crimping section in the middle there. You've got your insulation cutter off a bit. You can strip the insulation 1 mil, 2.5, and then you've got the old pliery bit there that's going to grab a little nut or something. Last but not least, in the plier department, or cutter department, you've got these big chunky Kleins. These are good because they've got that special grip at the top there. You see that little bit there? You can grab a little bit of cable, twist it round. Good for stranded 6mm, stranded 10mm for that matter. And there's even a little crimp section down here as well, and obviously you can cut cable with it. So these stay in the bag for that. On the bottom row, we've got the Bosch. Now this is the Bosch Professional, or Bosch Professional Go, whatever you want to call it. Again, had this 2 years or so, and yes, I know it has a DeWalt bit in the end of it there. You do actually get when you buy the box, when you buy it brand new, there is a box of it somewhere down here somewhere. Just put it down. It's not down there. Is it up there? No, there's nothing useful up there. What is that doing? Goes in the bin. Where is it? Right in front of me. This is the Bosch Go. Just flip it back here. So have a quick look here. I'm not doing a tool review of it or anything. I'm just letting you know what I carry and why I carry it. Comes in one of these L boxes. I mean, it's a decent bit of kit. You're not going to carry this entire box in the bag, but you can carry that. It charges through USB as well, so you can carry that and a USB cord. You're good to go. Inside the box itself though, quick look, you do get a multitude of different bits. You can see I've took 2 out because I'm utilising 2. In fact, well, one snapped and the other one's in there somewhere. But this is the Bosch Go, and that's the add-on kit that you get with that. If you buy the Bosch Go, it's what you get with it. Nice little touch. Bit too heavy to be carrying around for a daily carry. You wouldn't necessarily use them. Well, there's the USB cord for it. I'm using a different one. I'll tell you what we can do. Now that I've just opened that box, we can actually change the bits round from DeWalt to Bosch. There you go. Quite why you'd need an impact bit, I don't know. So it's an impact bit, but yeah, well, yeah, these are good for they're good for light fittings. Nice light fittings. You've got a bit of a torque setting on the top there. They're good for undoing sockets. So, you know, if you put your flathead on the top, in fact, that's what's happened with this. That's what I need to replace. I have on the top. So we've got there's the Bosch. I think that's what comes with the Bosch Go. This holder, this bit holder, with it saying Bosch on the side. And you get this flat bit, but you can see the corners snapped off. It's all broke. So I use that to take sockets off and stuff, but it's all right and everything. I mean, but the corner's broke, so pretty useless at the moment. Well, I might be replacing that out. Not that I've got. Have we got anything up here? We've got that one there. Well, that's a nice one that I could try and change a socket out with. Let's have a quick look. That one's working fine. Put that one back in. The official Bosch piece on there. So we've got this that goes in there now. That fits. So that's good. That's replaced. What else? Top row. Cigarette lighter. Don't ask. We have the extendable telescopic mirror for looking at buzz bars, looking at terminals, making sure the terminals are in MCBs correctly when you've got it inside the consumer unit or the distribution board, whatever it is. Yes, they do make VDE versions that are insulated and all that kind of stuff, and yes, I would probably like one. Am I going to pay that amount for it? I think they're still rocking at around £30. Am I going to pay that when I have this already in the box, in the bag? No, not yet. Maybe when I lose this, or God forbid, something's live and it melts that and melts me. By then it'll be too late. Anyway, we've got the little Allen key set there. I've go-to one. It's a Halfords one, which I've had for absolute decades, and I featured this in a few videos, in a few Veto videos, and it's been a pretty much go-to one because it has the main Allen key settings on there, and it's not too heavy. Again, this is all about weight. You saw how much it weighed. You don't want to be dragging this around. Well, you don't mind dragging it around. I don't mind dragging it around and stuff because if it is what's in there is what I need. But the thing about Veto bags, especially Tech Packs, is they do have a tendency of being, you overload them, and if you've got one of these, you'll know that you just don't stop. It's like, I'll bring this because it saves me a trip to the van or whatever. Anyway, on with the is it Knipex? Knipex. People screaming at me right now. The cable stripper, so the conductor. You know, you can take the insulation off the conductor and strip that back. Away to go. We've got another little D1 punch there for whatever reason. I don't know how often I use that, but it's decent. It's made the cut to make it into the bag, and then we've got a socket screw, terminal screw, not terminal screw, the socket plate screw. You know, the back screw, when it all messes up and everything, you can just re-tap it with that. I mean, again, I've had that CK, and it's probably 10 years, that thing. And it definitely makes a cut to meet in here. This is just a longer version of like a Phillips or a PZ2. to go on something like the Bosch Go, you know, for those small, thin places, to hard to reach showers sometimes, stuff like that. Little punch, little chisel, little, you can just whack something, give it a quick sharp shock or something. Always handy to have. Yes, it's a bit weighty, but you know, it's rather that than, I mean, imagine leaving that in the van and not in the bag. Hauling all the way downstairs or wherever your van's parked, or miles away or anything and stuff, and just to get that. So I'll leave it in there. You've got a bit of a thing just to hit another thing, really. Up here we've got, oh, this is my old Leatherman. Yeah, I'm not sure. This doesn't usually stay in here, actually, so I'll be honest with you, that's probably what's adding to some of the weight. It's just a Leatherman Skelly tool, I think it is. I've had this for a few years now, several years at least. The top here we've got 2 Klein screwdrivers. What are we saying? 2.5 and a 4. So we've got, what do we use this for? So this is, I don't know why I don't keep it. I'm keeping these ones for something. This was good for smoke alarms and all that. So I know why he stays in there. This one is mainly just a backup, I guess. Oh, it's good for socket screws, socket plate fronts and stuff, switches and stuff. A bit more grip on the end there. So there's a mix of screwdrivers, really. Pencil, I have no idea what that's doing. In fact, I think, I don't know if I found that or it's from one of the other Vetos. It's just made its way in there. An old worn out Sharpie with the nibs. It's not quite as bad as I thought it was. The nib sometimes just wears away and becomes useless, becomes full of brick dust. But that one's not too bad. The Milwaukee, he's alright. That's holding up okay. I used that yesterday, actually, or the day before yesterday, and that's obviously if the markers weren't working, they'd go straight away. So I'm saying there's a couple of markers in there. We've got the Klein. Right, so it's a temperature sensor at the end of the day. The ET05. Turn it on here. What we're measuring here is, I think the outside temperature is about 4.6, nearly 5 degrees Celsius. And we've got 17.3 degrees Celsius, or around about 17 inside here. Sorry, inside. Yeah, inside is 17 degrees, outside is nearly 5. You can see this is measuring 16.5, which is pretty accurate. But storage heaters, elements, other bits and pieces like that, things that you suspect of heating up without getting a thermal imaging camera out. The old Milwaukee Stanley knife blade, use that pretty much, maybe not every day, but you know, it's a lot. It's nice and easy to keep that in there, nice and small, nice and compact, rather than the bigger Stanley, which is. Do we have one here? No, we don't. Something along the lines of that. Imagine how much space that takes up versus this, so we'll just keep that in there. And what we'll do again, oh, something else hiding in the bottom there. Oh, so this is, so we've got a PH2 Bosch, so that must be something to do with that kit as well. What we'll do next, in fact, you know what I'll do? I'm going to pull this panel out. Right, the panel's out, and I can see there's a absolute mound of dust, bread, chocolate, biscuits. I have no idea why or what's going on in there. It's not a dinner table. Half my lunch down there. Blue roll, dry silica stuff, all kinds of just leave that hanging there for a minute. Oh yeah, we've got the old rule at the back, the tape rule. A nice thing to have this little conversion chart on the back. And we've got 30 centimetres there, which is, you know, whatever, in inches there. Nice little thing there to have. A nice rule as well. Nice and hidden out the way. It doesn't take too much space or weight. Keep that on the bench as well. They're all mounting up here now to get rid of a few of these things. What else have we got here? Oh yeah, got some the new mega leads. Have you seen the new mega leads? These are amazing. The actual croc clips themselves are quite grippy, quite tight. Don't know why them instructions are in there. Random screws. A mini USB. Oh, that's Unilight. I have not seen my Unilight for a long time. For a while. I think there's one in the back of this actually. There's a Unilight cord. Oh, we got some Lego. Well, I'll be honest with you, I do some work at home sometimes and things fall in the bag. From when the little ones are wandering about, trying to helping themselves to tools, and then we've just got a few more screws in here, which are, I have no idea where they're from. I hope to God they're not important. They weren't holding everything together, because they've been in the bottom of my bag for the last 4 years, as I've never cleaned this out. All right, in the front flap we've got here an absolute shed load of again, what are we calling these guys? Wagos, Wogos, Vargos, Wagos. You know, what are they? I call them Wagos, so I don't care if I'm getting it wrong. So we've got in here, we've got Nipex and Wagos, whatever that does. There's actually other things in here as well. Various clips. You know what it's like on site and everything. You just pick up bits, don't you? And some kind of grommet strip there, various screws. I don't like putting screws in there because they do have the tendency of poking out and then scratching your arm right when you don't need them to. What else is in here? Another little one of those little whisker fire grommet things. Remember they come out about 10 years ago and started really making a difference. Remember getting loads of them. Oh, we've got one of the original Wagos there. Vargos, Wugos, Wagos, whatever they are. One of the original ones there. That's a decent one there. That's what I call a fiver. I'm just going to shut that, otherwise they'll all be all over the floor. I keep a little magnet. You see there's a few here up on this board thing. Keep a little magnet there just to kind of hold to hold the door on the board open, and other things. Always useful. Right, if we look inside here now, what have we got? Yep, a fork. Fork knows why that's in there. We've got my Unilight. So I have got a Unilight in here, but that's type C and that's mini USB. Anyway, that's not the right USB for that. There must be another one here somewhere. Little tape measure. Always have it nice and handy to have a tape measure in a bag on site. We've got a little lock off thing there with a combination. And you know what the combination is to this, guys, because it's the same combination as yours. Yep. Lock everything off nice and safe. There's the key to the ARMEG, where you can set the torque settings. I knew it was in here somewhere. Oh yeah, we've got one of these things here. These are alright, aren't they? You know, the magnetic R1, R2 lead type things. They're okay, I guess. Is it from Klein Super Rod or something? I think it's from them too. They're alright. Okay. Antihistamines from when it used to be summer. It does get warm here sometimes. Chewing gum. Earthly from... What's that from? Probably a shower. Tell you what, guys, there's a load of money in here. I say a load. I mean, barely £2. £2. That's all that's in there. Front, let's have a quick look before we spin the whole thing around. We've got some gloves. So I use these not as often as I would like to. I use these about, I don't know, once, twice a week, I guess. Use these pretty much every day. These are just generic kind of Wonder Grip gloves. There's a little clamp thing there to tie things to the bag sometimes that I find myself having to do. top pocket here. Got a Samsung charger, which is an old charger, because I think my new charger is Type C. Yes, it is actually. So this is Type A. But there's some other cords in here. So we've got a Type C, which would probably be for that Unilight head torch there. And we've got another Type C, which is, I have no idea why I've got two Type C's. Never mind. There's two Type C cords in there. Oh, there we go. There's another USB in there as well, which is the mini USB. So plenty of cords, only one charging device. That's what lives at the top there. So that's pretty much the whole front of the bag there, stripped out. Have a look at the side. Pair of cutters. Had these years again, probably 8 years, so never let me down. A little bit of oil, keep them clean. They will cut through mild steel, not consumer units, but yeah, it's alright. As scissors go, nice and sharp. Bit of a meter cupboard key here, nice and shiny one. You know, that kind of triangle-y number. You know, you go to them and you've seen people have tried to long nose pliers it and everything, and that'll get you in a little meter cupboard. I think we'll zip it up, clip it up, and spin it round to have a look what's in the back. Oh, plaster. Alright, we'll get the bag spun round, move this out of the way. The Bosch Go box, get that out of the way. Have a look here. In fact, before we have a bit of a top up, shall we? Before we get the back open of the this side. Wrong place. Okay. You know, these open, don't you? Pull it forward, let it go. That just helps with the shoulder straps. Bend it down. What have we got in here? Oh. I know I look surprised when I open this, but it's been a couple of weeks since I've actually been using this, apart from the other day. I just grabbed a screwdriver or something out the front, but the side is, have a quick look. We've got some got some tape. But they're the main colours of tape, if you ask me. Domestic anyway. So we've got black, green and yellow and blue and brown. Obviously there's nothing else in there. Quick fold, look down here. Also we got some more grommet strip. The plastic, this is nice and bendy and flexible, that one. We've got this grommet strip here. This is like the Hulk grommet strip, proper tough stuff. So I'll give you a run through here. That's alright for your accessories. You got metal accessories, light stuff like that. Make a grommet strip. That's good for consumer units. Cut that out. Sometimes you need a bit of tape to hold it down, but it's quite sturdy, quite robust. Bit of sleeving, obviously blue. If you're sleeving it blue, you want it to be neutral colours, brown. If you want it to be brown, switch lives and all that stuff. Got some heat shrinky stuff there. That's what the lighter's for. Unfortunately, what else have we got in here? I have no idea why they're in there. Right, okay, so there's another Unilight. This is the type, the mini USB, so that other cord we've got in there is what we charge that with, obviously. Some more gloves, which are full of grease, so yep, we'll just keep them folded up. More gloves in that pocket there. A little bit of a bits box, which you might have seen on here before. In fact, I'm sure when I first got this out and made a video of it, I had this box. Have you guys used this? Let me just have a quick look at this. I'm mainly talking to domestic sparks here, so I'll just show you. Okay, have you guys used those before, where you hammer them into the side of a metal existing back box? You know, with the screws gone, the screw to fix the plate back has the thread's gone. You just hammer one of them in. Absolute gold lifesaver. I'll keep a few of them in here, like 10. Not much else really. A few socket screws and clips. I have Wagos in there, but they're on the front, or Wagos, whatever they are. Earth current tester, earth leakage current tester. So with all the things we're coming across now, the state of the existing installations and the problems and everything they've got with the infrastructure and everything. Always good to test, you know, when you're doing a test, any ICR, board change, anything like that, anything like that really, basically. Always good to test to see if what's going on, see if there's any, if you're taking the earth conductor off, just, yeah, you can, having a quick look beforehand. I think it's quite a vital test, to be honest. Oh, dead spider fell out there. More gloves, these are thin gloves, these are, I used to call these Screwfix specials, but I think CF are selling them now. Certainly being QR, nice and thin, you can work all day in them, although they're nice and thin, so they're not really going to protect too much. Yeah, we've got the TIS socket tester there. Just tell you if your sockets are wired up correctly. Which that one is. Ish. A rag, a nice clean rag. Not sure why, but there's one at the bottom there. I think it's, no, I have no idea why it's there. Now these are good for holding your tapes on the side of the bag. I don't do that. I like to keep the side of the bag free of jingly jangly bits flying all over the place, smashing into door casings. Like there's two there. What's we got in here? White tape. Now you can see I use white tape for labelling because I've got up here some lock off keys where I've locked the installation off before I've drove off and stuff, and you know, made sure I've wrote on just roughly quickly there. I won't show it on camera, but I've wrote an address on there so I know where it's for and stuff. Good for labelling, bit of white tape, mainly for yourself. You know, you wouldn't really write anything on that and then leave it for someone else, and especially not with my handwriting. No one will be able to read that. I've got a bag of 300mm, 200mm rather, cable ties, zip ties. You guys call them zip ties? Cable ties. Bag of them. Always need some cable ties. A scraper for scraping things. Whatever. We've got a little filler knife for filling little holes. Adjustable spanner. Roth and Perger. I used to call these dogs. I used to call them dogs. I've had these 20 years, easily 20 years. And I'd say, get us that pair of dogs out the van. Need a pair of dogs. That's what would turn up. Alright for doing a bit of plumbing, which we all touch. Let's be honest, we face it with that. Tin snips, showed you these before. We've got the DeWalt little guide things that are cut off so they fit in the bag properly. Decent tin snips. Again, they'll cut a board. They'll cut thin plastic. If you're if you're struggling with these will sort it out all right before you start needing a hammer and chisel or a grinder or anything. A brush, always good to keep, always handy to have in a bag. Just to have on site, just a little bit of a cloth and a brush to kind of just to clean stuff out the way. Maybe behind a storage heater or something, maybe behind like a fan or something. Get rid of some dust. The all-important approved voltage indicator. Now, yes, I know this should be accompanied with a proving unit, or well, we've got a proving unit here. Something like it should be accompanied with something like that. But to be honest, that's a bit heavy and bulky and chunky to fit in the bag, so that stays there. I'd carry another proving unit in my testing bag, along with some other testing probes. These are in here because, first of all, they're good for continuity. Good for continuity, you know, checking fuses, stuff like that. And if I really do need to prove these work, there's usually a known source I can test it off. Electricians know what I'm talking about if you're watching this. Right, that's that there. Top shelf, not really got much. Okay, so there's £10 in the top. zipper that I didn't know about. I mean, I thought just labels were in there. Literally, I only thought labels were in there. So this kind of stuff, you got installation exists of, you got smoke alarm labels, all that kind of stuff. You got, what's this here? AFDD labels. They are the all-important key. The flashes that tell you what your AFDD is doing, if it is indeed flashing. But yeah, I found £10 in there. I'll tell you what, didn't know I had that. On the side here, just another note here, there is another meter key. So we've got both types, got country and western. That's pretty much it for the entire bag, really. If I zip that up there, oh, we've got a Stanley knife here. I don't know why it's got tape on it. I have no idea. It's a new blade. I've either been overcautious, but why haven't I put it in the Stanley? I don't know. It's just a spare blade. Oh, that's right. That particular Milwaukee Stanley knife blade does not carry spare blades. You can't. So I think I've rather dangerously keeping a Stanley knife blade in there with tape on it. It's quite dangerous anyway, but we should address that. Up top we've got some bits here. To be honest, they should be in my drill bag. I don't know what they're doing up the top here, other than just highlighting that they can go there. I don't think there's anything behind this panel. No, you can see there's nothing there whatsoever. There's nothing in the bottom. But that's pretty much the bag emptied. With the bag empty now, I'm able to flip it around and show you nice and easily, no weight, that the base is all intact. No smashes, no cracks, no problems. There's a few scrapes, no doubt, but you know, what do you expect after 4 years? Nothing's broken, no, the stitching's still doing fine. Padding on the back works well. There's a bit of dust down there. These have come off. I don't use the link, by the way. There's a link that goes across your chest. I mean, I do use it on both my shoulders sometimes, you know, but I don't use the actual chest strap thing that comes with the bag itself. The tape measure thing, I don't put a tape on there. Like I said before, I like to keep the sides of this nice and free because, well, basically I like to keep the sides of people's properties nice and free of chips and bumps and paint scrapes and stuff, because you got that in your back and you're wandering around people's houses or upstairs and tight bends and stuff, you do tend to, if you have things hanging off here and everything, chip paint and doorways and hit people in the face with it. I think what we'll do next is give it a little, what we'll do next, have another glass of this delicious water. Wow. We'll recalibrate the scales here and we'll see what it weighs empty. And I'll be honest with you guys, barely moved the scales there. If I have a quick look, take that back off. Bit of a gander myself. So measuring, if I can see straight, we're looking at around about 9 pounds-ish, nearly 8 pounds, which is about 4 kilograms. You can see for yourself, I think. Can you see for yourself? Can you make that out? It's quite nice and light when it's empty, but what's the point in that? The thing is, guys, I had no idea I was carrying all this. I mean, I obviously had an idea because I use it most days, most weeks, but when you see it all laid out in front of you, it's like, do I really need this, this and this? But there's nothing I can go without. I mean, you guys will know with your tool bags, your particular loadouts, specific loadouts, there's nothing you can leave behind, you know. You've already, for me anyway, I've already gone through that. That's a bit heavy, it's a bit weighty on its own, you know. But if I leave it out of the bag and I wander into a property or I need access to a meter cup and I haven't got that, how easy is it just to have there on the side of the bag? Quick access, open the door, there you go. Let me know whether something's isolated or got an isolator. I'll be honest with you, I don't need this in the bag. That is quite weighty, the Leatherman Skelly tool. I don't need to carry that. Maybe there's 1 or 2 items I could shave off. I don't know why I was carrying cash in there. Although it's quite beneficial finding some of it, but the pound in there I didn't know I had. Let's move this back a minute, because this is the main guy, and this is the everyday bag. It comes everywhere, it goes everywhere. Everywhere I go it goes. Even though I might only use 2 or 3 tools in it, I know at least I have like other things in there that I don't need to walk far from. There is another bag, and that's the Tech Pac MCT. I have done a review of this on my channel if you've not already seen it. Unfortunately, the zip gave up. This is not a design problem. This is not an issue with the bag. There was no fault or anything. It's down to me. I put some keys around the zip, and I was messing around, just left, right, just doing something. I'm not quite sure why I even had the keys on there. I think it was just my keys that come with a hook. The bag fell off the step ladders, and I held it by the keys, and it swung out my arm, landed on the floor, and I had the keys and the zip still in my hand. So my fault. Not much in the front pouch, but this plays a pivotal role really, because it is backup to this. If you like, it's the it's the motorbike and sidecar, and both bags. If I don't bring this bag alone, I'll bring both of them on site. This is like the backup. So what won't fit? So like before, I showed you if you can just dig them out somewhere, probably buried. The Allen keys that I've got in there somewhere that's staying here. Now carrying that little set of Allen keys saves me carrying this round, which is quite heavy. So they stay in backup bag. But there's other things in there like them. Conduit cutters, pipe cutters, whatever you want, plastic pipe cutters. These are CK, made in France. These are nice and light. So you'd think, well, add that to your bag, it's not too heavy. Well, the thing is, it takes up a bit of room. So it's about weight and space. So they stay in backup bag. Same with this. Do I use this every week, every day? No, probably once a month, if that. We've got the Klein Combi here with all the little bits and pieces at the back, you know, it flicks forward. Do I use that all the time? No. But do I want it? Yes. Do I need to get it sometimes? Yes. Do I use it sometimes? Yes. There's also a claw hammer that usually stays in here. It's actually hanging up in my daughter's bedroom right now because I've been busy putting shelves up. On this side here, we've got the crimpers. So we've got your 16 and 10mm stuff here. You've got your just general red, blue, yellow crimp stuff. They stay in there. So what's in here? There's the crimps for the things. So you can see, I'm not going to load this entire bag up, but this is a backup bag to this, or an additional bag. If this could drive around and carry a trailer, it would be this. A bigger scraper to the smaller scraper that I had before. Stubby screwdriver, because occasionally you need one, you know. We've got a negative and positive, or a Phillips and flathead wear screwdriver. Again, just backup for other screwdrivers that I've got. I've got these mole grips. Now I've got an adjustable spanner here. There we go. And I've got a pair of bow wows there. But it's always nice to have a pair of mole grips, because believe me, you'll use them one day. I even have, wait for it, PTFE tape. I know. What am I doing messing around with that stuff? But I'd rather have it in there than not. And there's even a few posi bits in there, spare posi bits and stuff. But that's pretty much, what else have we got in here? We've got a tile bit. I have no idea what that is. It's drilling tile bits, but it should be in my drill bag, but it's there. So that's if I push this back down here, move the main man in the front here, you can see this is my main bag. Alright, so I've got the unenviable task now of cleaning all this stuff up and putting it back in the bag. Let me know what you think of the loadout. Are you carrying the same amount? Am I under carrying? Am I over carrying? Am I breaking my back unnecessarily? What do you think? Like I said before, it's mainly residential, domestic stuff, testing, that kind of stuff, replacing of accessories, all that kind of thing, setting things up, heaters, panels, what have you, board changes. I did one the other week, outside lights on the run up to Christmas in the rain. Put an umbrella over the thing. It was great. Everything stayed nice and dry. A little bit of water didn't do any damage. But after 4 years, I can't complain. It's never let me down. Nothing's wrong with it. I think it'll last at least another 4 years. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time. Oh my God. Alright. Tool to pine to put these times back. Times to put these. What a nightmare. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 'm I think I'm going to do this in the morning.